Friends, and welcome to episode 272 of the Noclip podcast. We're all here. Somehow we're all able to hear and talk to each other. We had to do some sort of like clown car entrance into our room here to make sure that everyone could hear. It seemed like the fourth person couldn't hear anyone, and then we figured out that Jeremy was the original sin, according to Riverside, and we all had to follow him in. So it all worked out in the end. Clearly you haven't been blessed enough by Ireland's patron saint, Patrick Jeremy Jane. How are you doing today?
Not Irish enough, apparently. Only like 60% Irish. Although everyone in the Boston area is like, yeah, I'm Irish. I'm like 99% Irish.
I've seen the logo for the Celtics. I get it. Jeremy, what's your favorite Irish film?
Irish film? Oh my God. You're really putting me on the spot here. I don't know. I would have to think about that, honestly.
You got Banshees of Inisherin, you got In Bruges, you got most of Yorgos's movies were funded by the Irish Film Board.
I like In Bruges. I would need to let me get back to you on that.
Yeah, go watch The Wind That Shakes the Barley. And
that's a great movie.
Yeah, come back to me on that one. Yeah, Jesse Grasha, what's your favorite Irish food?
Ooh, you know what? I can't think of any Irish food. Can you give me some examples?
So this is the problem, is that we sort of Irish cuisine started around 60 years ago, maybe. So
right.
I mean, you got potato, you got turnips, you got parsnips,
all potatoes are good.
You got salmon, you got colcannon, a bit of
just
cabbage.
Naming food. I like salmon. I'll go with salmon. How about that?
I am just naming items.
Yeah, just things. Yeah,
you can have
any cuisines. Is there anything?
What's
your favorite
bags.
Irish food?
You got spice bags, donor meat and chip from my local.
Is that Irish?
No, it's Turkish.
I mean, I love a good donor. Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty great. Frank, who's your Frank? Welcome back from Japan, by the way. Frank's back from Japan.
Woo!
Congratulations, you made it back from the Pacific Theater. What is your favorite Irish cosplayer?
Oh, Peach Milky.
There
that
was
easy.
Yeah. Soft lob there, mate. Of course. Shout out to Peach Milky. We love Peach Milky. Yeah, we're going to talk about a bunch of games today, folks. We're going to talk, a bunch of games. Funi Raccoon Game, speaking of Ireland. Funi Raccoon Game. Frank's going to give us a lowdown on his adventures in Japan. We're going to talk about Lucid Blocks, Mama's Sleeping Angels, Ultimate Drummer a little bit. And also, I took Jesse's recommendation and played some Penco Park. And,
not my recommendation, but I'm glad you're playing it. That was No Caps.
Oh, it was No Caps. Okay, apologies. Yeah. No Caps is not here this week. We are going to cycle her back in, though. We may have a space in the podcast in the next little while because people have got some stuff to do that's going to take them away from work for a little while. She's excited to come back in. But we needed to get the Howl Man in here to talk about his time. Oh, that's what we do for him every time. Frank, you were not here for the launch of Computer Worlds. Have you experienced any of Computer Worlds?
No, I feel I have to go to the gym on the elliptical and then catch up on Jeremy's alchemy video. I have to watch the Computer Worlds thing. I have to watch. Well, I did watch last night. Danny today put a video up for St. Patrick's Day about Irish games.
It's a great video.
Thank you. I have to catch up on everything. But I saw so much buzz on the internet about Computer Worlds and everything, which is really, really incredible.
Yes, it has blown up, as the kids say. At least for our channel, we've well over 60,000 views on Computer Worlds, which is great. People talking to us in the Discord about demos they've played and games they've downloaded and wishlisted and all that stuff. So it's been great. We're super happy. It just was perfectly in line with the type of stuff that Noclip 2 sort sort of was founded on, highlighting unique and interesting and distinctive games. And it's been a dream to put it on. And honestly, I kind of have a taste for it now. You know what I mean? Don't you guys? Like, it's we should do these more often. Yeah, obviously, Gil Lawson and all the folks who put this thing together, like, this was developer run and organized. We just did the video side of stuff. We're obviously doing a bunch of coverage on Noclip 2 over the past week and next week. But they put all the work in. Gil has a busy rest of his year coming up. Goblin America is set to come out in early access, it looks like, in the summer by the trailer that was part of Computer World. So but I'm kind of looking at Summer Games Fest E3 time and going, maybe we should put something weird and fucked up right before that, get some of that MTV2 flavor in there as well. So let us know what you think in the comments below if you're interested in more showcases from here at Noclip 2. Also, I want to, as Frank just said, I want to quickly mention not one but two Steam festivals going on. Obviously, Computer Worlds, you can go to bit.ly/Computer Worlds and it'll link you straight to the Steam event page, which has all of those amazing games that you can go check out. Plenty of discounts, plenty of games to wish list, plenty of great games from the past. 50 games in total as part of it that you can either wish list ahead of time, buy right now, or get a discount on. I also want to give a shout out to tinyurl.com/Games Ireland. I want to say that's what it is. It is. Which will bring you to the Games from Ireland 2026 Steam Festival, which has been running since late last week. Celebrated, obviously, this week because of St. Patrick's Day. It's run by Immert, which is an organization that has been around not for too long. I feel like maybe 7-8 years. It's a sort of a loose collaboration. I shouldn't say it's a loose collaboration. It's a real organization that many Irish game studios are members of, which attempts to showcase and talk about and support in many ways the Irish game development community, including some funding as well. And they put on this Steam Festival to basically showcase a bunch of great Irish games developed in Ireland, games like I mentioned in the video, like Demon School, which are programmed in Ireland. But yeah, a bunch of games, a lot of them in our native language, As Gaeilge, a lot of them based talking about Irish stuff, like the Seance of Blake Manor, of course, we talked about a lot over the past 6 months. And a lot of them are just great games that have nothing to do with Ireland, but are developed in Ireland and made by Irish people and are worthy of some attention. So yeah, I put a video up on the channel on Noclip 2 just about sort of Irish game dev's current moment and how, like, sort of growing up in a, social democracy that has a pretty, spends a lot of its GDP on pumping it back into communities and into the arts and lots of elements of the arts that I was involved in during my life in Ireland, and how games are probably lagging behind some of those arts and could do with a bit more investment, considering how much sort of talent flight there is from Ireland as people attempt to find work in their chosen industry. So yeah, happy to put that video up and happy to showcase these games and happy to play a bunch of them. I played loads. I could probably talk, maybe if we're at the end I might talk about some of the games that I played over the weekend. We have a packed show at the moment, but yeah, there's some fantastic Irish games up there, and one of which, Funi Raccoon Game, we're going to talk about a lot today. But first of all, Frank Howley, welcome back to the America's been doing great. Just, know you've been away for a few weeks. There's something going on in the Middle East. You don't have to, don't worry about it. It's fine. Maybe go back to Japan. Maybe go back.
Gas price is like 1,000 yen a gallon now. I don't know what the hell happened. I'm not in Orange County. It's crazy. It jumped up like crazy.
Frank, you're back in Japan now. It's not yen. It's no, greenbacks.
I didn't convert my yen back to U.S. currency when I landed because I'm like, I have leftover gift card money. I got to go back and spend it. So, How
was your trip?
Phenomenal. I was literally I was like talking to Jester right before, where it's like, I already want to go back. I want to try to go back in August. Every time I go, I keep meeting more friends, more like connections into other avenues and stories I want to tell. So it's just like, oh my God, like every time I go, I get way more comfortable and like learn the language more and more. So I am buzzing and I got so much footage, like a lot of racing game stuff, a lot of Game Center stuff, a little bit of wrestling stuff, but now I'm also obsessed with like the idol culture. I now that I'm 35, I'm officially an Oji-san. I became friends with like the front row photographers at all the wrestling shows.
Oh wow!
So it's like I like told the guy, I was like, oh yeah, I follow you on Twitter, and he posted on Twitter of like, I had friends from overseas who complimented me and gave me much encouragement. I'm going to keep posting my photos. Thank you for the push.
Amazing.
So it's like, I don't know. It feels good to go over and validate other wrestling fans. Like this is, I don't know. So I'm like very very buzzing from how much fun I had, and I feel like I don't have that melancholy, and I'm sure it'll still hit in a few days or whatever. But like now, instead of feeling low of like, oh my gosh, now I'm like, great, I just want to work and then go back as soon as possible. Like so I'm very enthusiastic. And also, I mean, I played a lot of games at game centers, but I haven't touched like all the like home releases of stuff. I've missed out on Scott Pilgrim, WWE 2K26. I want to play Marathon, so I'm gonna dive into all this stuff over in the oncoming weeks, but it's just like, oh my god, I feel like I'm hungry for video games again. But I can dive into little pinches, Game Centers, Nintendo Museum, idol culture stuff. But I can talk about the Game Center stuff. So when I went last time, I was hyper obsessed with like every time I go, I'm obsessed with wrestling is always there. That's the meat. But like. This time I explored as many game centers as possible, trying to find the racing games. I wasn't interested in the rhythm games. I still played a bunch, but all the racing games.
You made a video now. Who cares? You don't have to care about rhythm games anymore.
That's the thing. He's working on the next video, which is all about, obscure racing, Japanese racing games.
Yeah.
So the point was like, for me is like, I wanted to try to find like vintage racing games that A, were never even imported to America. And then B, like if I played them as a kid, all the machines were beat up and fucked up because like, in American arcades, they didn't maintain them well, whereas in every Japanese game center, you literally have like QR codes or buttons you can hit where a attendant will come over to the machine, fix it, or give you your yen back, or it's like everything is pristine. So I wanted to like play racing games where the steering wheel still has feedback and everything. Like, so I went to so many different game centers. I even went to like rural ones in Yokohama. There was a game center in some random town near Yokohama called like Game Immigrant with a question mark.
That's you.
Yeah, you should get a picture under on that sign.
Game Immigrant. And my friend Max, who was walking around, he's like, I think we're the only white guys who've ever been inside here. It was so like, also what I discovered, the round ones in Japan are like casinos. They have smoking sections, but they have... It's straight up like Yakuza. It's pachinko. They straight up have pachinko, horse betting, cigarette smoking, but they get around the loophole. Instead of like gambling with yen, kids, and I think it's everyone, kids,
you
adults,
gamble
teenagers.
with kids?
No,
oh, no.
So you extend your yen for medals, and people are just fucking putting medals into coin pushers, all this stuff, and then when you're done, you check out. It's the pachinko rules, but it was like, this is just a fucking casino, and like I couldn't believe it, and it was incredible, and it's open all night. It's 24 hours. You never have to. It's like it's amazing. They figured it out. It's so good. So I went to round ones, whatever. But the real meat, what I think is now my absolute favorite arcade, is in Akihabara. There's Gijo, which is get into the gaming oasis. GIGO.
Wow,
get into the gaming oasis.
It's a great acronym.
There's Gigo number 3. There is one floor that's all the racing games. There's I was there for Midnight Long Gone, Midnight Maximum Tune, but an even newer game is the Initial D game, which is phenomenal. It's also the first arcade racing game I played that's had the Forza racing line. I think like the green line, like when you play Forza, it has like the green line that shows you the path. That's in the Initial D game now, which is like, oh, this is good, but it's also helpful for drifting. But the top floor of Gijo 3 it's called like Retro 6F, whatever. It's the retro floor of the arcade, and it is maybe the best retro arcade I've ever been into. They have like Time Crisis 1 through 3, House of the Dead 1 through 4, Typing of the Dead. They had Ridge Racer, Rave Racer, Outrun 2, Scud Race, Daytona USA 2, Crazy Taxi, Simpsons Pinball, Simpsons Arcade.
Oh my god!
It was just like everything, and it was the kind of thing where I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to play everything.
There's an arcade release of Typing of the Dead?
Yes. I found them at 2 different arcades. One
never knew that.
I got footage of it. So that's the thing in this video I want to do is I want to talk about like looking for these racing games, but I'll have little snippets of like, oh, there's Typing, all the obscure machines. So In Ikebukuro, there's the Mikado Game Center. It is literally between a soapland and a pachinko parlor.
Oh my God, never leave.
The land of vice.
It's the scummy dudes area of Ikebukuro. It is awesome. It is so cool. And the walls are just filled with like Virtua Fighter Babe posters. and there's like a smoking section in the arcade. And there's all the mahjong machines where old people are smoking cigarettes and playing the mahjong machines where in between rounds it's like pixelated girls. It's like, and then there's Typing of the Dead, a bunch of stuff. It is incredible. It is incredible.
I have a question about Typing of the Dead as an arcade machine.
Yes.
Does it have like, because I feel like a normal keyboard could not endure the amount of wear and tear that an arcade, like when you go play like a rhythm game, they have the industrial strength version. Did they have like a crazy, like.
They have the original Dreamcast keyboards. I don't know if they're like replacing the keys, but they're straight up the Dreamcast keyboard. I don't know if they replaced the keys or what, but it worked. And it's when I think when you play, it asks if you want to type in English or like the Japanese characters. So I did English, but you still have to type out Japanese words. So yeah, in English. So it's like my muscle memory isn't there because having to spell like, watashi wa kuroratsu or whatever. I'm like, I don't fucking like.
Is it a WASD keyboard?
Yes,
or
I think it's
keyboard.
I think it's a WASD keyboard, and then it's like above it is the Japanese text character. So it's like you can get through it. So I did the first chapter without losing a life. I was like, this is easy. And then you could level select, and then I did like the last level, and the words were like 30 characters long, and I died instantly.
This is how Frank becomes fluent in Japanese. Is a Typing of the Dead arcade.
That's how I learned how to type.
Hey, that's how you do it. Yeah,
that's how I learned how to touch type. Was Mary Had a Little Lamb, his fleece was white as snow comes up when you're fighting one of the bosses in that game. And you're like, shit. That's amazing. Here's a cultural question for you, Frank. Yes. Can gaijins go into soaplands?
So there's but there's an extreme premium price. So I would say it's not worth it. It's not worth it. If you're a gaijin, you're being I mean, I don't know, the scale of the yen, the currency right now, I feel when I'm in Japan, it's like my dollar goes so far. It's crazy. I was literally at a maid cafe and I was checking out and the girl saw my yen wallet and she was like, oh fuck, like she was like, I could have hosed this guy way more. So I was like, haha. But I told her I'd be back. But yeah, so that's the thing is my language has gotten better. So now when I go into places and they start talking to me in Japanese, I'm just like, oh, Sakoshi Nihongo. Like I only know a little bit of Japanese, but they don't care. They're happy to take my money. So like every encounter I had this trip was so friendly. I feel like I've gotten past that. I have this new, like push past this barrier and now have this confidence of like, oh, I can kind of get into anywhere and I feel okay and happy and like, I don't know. So, but yeah, I have not engaged in any soapland stuff. It's super expensive for more tax. I'm like, whatever, I'm good. But yeah.
Are they run by, I don't know enough about soaplands. Are they like, because like whenever I see any sex worker stuff, I'm always like, and I'm not saying that that's what happens there, but also I imagine
it's very, very much literally like Yakuza. They have Nampa guys in the streets of Shinjuku and Shibuya, like trying to court and like hire young girls and stuff like that. So
that's the thing I'm always worried about, you know, because you're wondering about sex trafficking and all this sort of stuff. When I was in Australia, I didn't realize that prostitution was legal over there. So like. Yeah, so and I was a similar thing
all
again.
Cities?
Yeah, apparently, but it's
settle down, Frank. Settle down.
That's not the conversation I'm having.
No,
but then also there's like, you know, a lot of Southeast Asian, you know, I don't know. It's like because the same thing happens over here in San Francisco with not necessarily sex workers, but with like, you know, Jeremy will remember like all the people going around emptying trash cans and stuff like that. Like a lot of them were apparently, you know, indentured servants essentially, who are like brought over here to do stuff. So no, I was just interested in that because I imagine if it's like the type of thing that has this like illegal element to it, they probably want to keep people out. But yeah, that's wild. That's wild. It's just wild that they're in the middle of the most popular area for tourists. You know what I mean? That seems completely wild.
And I got footage of it. It might be the cold open of the video is like, my friend and I are literally walking around Kabukicho, which is the scummy Yakuza part of town, but we're literally looking for the game centers. And there is a really good game center in the heart of Kabukicho called Game Panic. And what I noticed is like families aren't going inside there because it's like that's not a place for families. So the machines weren't crowded. So I got to play a lot of racing games and stuff in there. And then outside in the streets are all the girls like trying to tout you into their bars and stuff like that. But So we literally had the experience of like we were walking towards the game center. 2 guys spoke to us in English, like, "Oh, what are you guys looking for? We're looking for game centers. We're looking for Wongon Midnight Maximum."
Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I got a handful of quarters. I'm looking for the
I was trying to
arcade.
sell you some drugs, and you're like, "Do you have Typing of the Dead by any chance?"
Yeah, we're not looking for girls, not looking for drinks. We're looking for Wongon Midnight Maximum too. But I literally got that on camera of me like in Kabuki-cho, because like there's a right outside Game Panic in Gigo, there's 2 arcades, and it's right like in the Millennial Square where Yakuza is. There's like a strip where literally both rows are just all the girls trying to court you into their bars.
Right.
And so you walk behind them, but now they've started to learn, and now now they have people facing both ways.
Now they've realized they could turn around.
and that's also the strip where all the like there's a term called like Jiraike, which is like just like troublesome girl or whatever, like all the punk kids. They all just smoke and drink right on the street.
Fun.
And now they have like cops standing by, make sure, because people have gotten stabbed and stuff. It's again, Tokyo is not dangerous, but like every now and then there'll be like one accident a year and whatever, a stabbing accident.
I feel like me and Jeremy, we didn't see any of this, did we? When we were there, we went. I guess we only went to like. We were only there for 5 days. We went to Akihabara. There was that one guy who stopped us filming, but was he a cop or
yeah. No, we got harassed by the police for filming. The only experience I had with any of this was walking back from our patron meetup the last night we were there.
Oh yeah.
I had a couple of guys follow me and be like, "Oh, like you like girls? You like pretty girls? You want to come with us?" Yeah. Which is the thing where they like get you to go to the place and then
Assault,
like
scam
scam you. Or,
yeah.
No, it's less like mug you. I mean, obviously, I'm sure this is me covering my ass. I'm sure there are some legitimate businessmen who follow you for a mile, telling you to come back and have sex with a woman.
They really
for money.
want you to play their indie game.
This is how indie developers are a lot like sex traffickers. Actually, I'm joking. That's obviously a joke. I think I've heard like that they get you there and then get your card to like pay for stuff and then charge it extra, or like some people get drugged. Okay. I don't know.
There 2 examples. One is there'll be a place with like exorbitant hidden fees. Like, oh, I went to this place, and then all of a sudden it was like 100,000 yen, and they're gonna muscle you to pay that. You're not gonna get out, or you'll get roofied, and then you'll wake up and I'll see like once a week. I'm in like 10 different Japan travel Reddits. They'll be like, I woke up in Japan and my credit card's missing and I lost $100,000. Like, it's like, don't fucking go into don't follow anyone in Kabuki-cho. Don't like, so that's why anytime I spoke to us in English, I'm like, I'm looking for a game center. They're like, what the fuck is this nerd? Like, but the other trick I learned is if you have your phone and I'm pretending to be a naive tourist, hi, we're in Kabuki-cho, they're not going to fucking, no one wants to be on camera. I saw there was an Instagram reel, whatever, forever ago, and whether or not this is like a fake thing or not, it was genuinely great, where it was like the guy was filming him being escorted by a tout. And the guy's like, you can't film this. I'm like, why not? Isn't this a place? I want to check this place out. No cameras. Well, if I'm not going to go if I can't film. And it was like, oh, so now you like pulling that out will generally scare away. And like, again, that's just
exactly.
It's just like that's just like street mart defense tactics in terms of like the rest of area anywhere outside Kabuki-cho. And there's like, I've been to one scummy part of Osaka. Every town has a district, but like it's like, oh no, that's like the exception that proves the rule that everywhere is so chill. So like shifting gears, talking about going super rural, maybe not rural, but outside Tokyo. I went to Kyoto, which is very like traditional castles, rivers, very cool. I went to the Nintendo Museum. And I don't know how hard it is. Like everyone I told was like, I've been trying forever to try to get a ticket. You book 2 months in advance. I got into the Nintendo Museum because instead of going with like a partner or a group of friends, I'm just one fucking guy. So I got a ticket immediately. It was like, fuck it. No one, like, I think it was like one of the few solo travelers to the Nintendo Museum. So the thing with the Nintendo Museum, it's weird to say it was underwhelming. It felt underwhelming at first, but then I've just been reflecting on it, and now I'm like, oh my god, I want to play a bunch of Nintendo games again. The Nintendo experience is really profound and cool. It is hosted in a building that opened in 1969. That was like a place that Nintendo used to manufacture stuff. It was like a console repair center, a tech center, and then in the 2000s, like 10s or whatever, they closed it down, refurbished it, and then it became the museum. So there's pictures in the museum of like the plant being used in the 60s and 70s, cool. And it's awesome. Like, oh, that's crazy. So there's like 2 parts of the Nintendo Museum. There's no photos allowed inside. There's literally like TSA. There's like security. You have to like check your bags, all that stuff. You go in, not check your bags literally, but like you're putting on a plane. But they will check your bag. I had a water bottle, and the lady's like, drink what's in that. Okay, like
there could be a camera in there, a liquid camera.
Yeah, what? Like, could be a bomb? Like, what?
No, the Tokyo subway bombings was that. It was
was it?
They had plastic bags of like liquid gas, and then when it was time to go, they stabbed the plastic bags with umbrellas and got off the train, and all the train attendants who had to pick up and dispose the fucking liquid, they all got sick. So it was
okay, fair enough. I stand
Was
corrected. That's exactly what you should do.
Om Shinrikyo thing? Yeah.
And that's why there's no trash cans in Japan. But now because there's so much of an over tourism problem, they want to start putting trash cans in like Kyoto.
Same thing was in London. Parts of London, like Bank forever, didn't have any trash cans because of IRA activity. So yeah,
Holy
it's
crap.
wild.
Yeah. So getting into the Nintendo Museum, no cameras allowed inside. It is the most like complete Nintendo collection in the world.
I hope so.
Like,
Yeah,
right. It's galleries of. So it's like they even have everything from before Nintendo. Like they have like Hanafuro cards, like the old school playing cards from like 1899.
Yeah, from the 19th century. Yeah.
Wow.
There's stuff that it looks so like Indiana Jones text. Like if someone blew on it, it would disappear. Like old ass crap, playing cards, board games, and then like early electronic stuff. So that's all there. They have commercials playing on the screens of like the old Japanese toy commercials, and then it's like Nintendo stuff, Game Boy Color, whatever. Every console. They don't have like every release, but like most releases, they will have like Japanese box, North American box, and PAL box. So just seeing everything side by side. But what was alarming to me was like I saw like N64, Cruisin' USA, America, Europe. Cruisin' USA was not released in Japan, and that's like insane to me. And I have to maybe talk about this in the video because that's maybe one of my all-time favorite racing games.
Did it have a different name? Was it Cruisin' Blast or was that the PAL one?
They eventually made like Cruisin' World, and I think they did sequels, and that might have been the original. So like you would see stuff, and it's like this wasn't released. Like Cruisin' USA wasn't released in Japan. Doshin the Giant, that GameCube game, wasn't released in America. Yeah. So there's some stuff you would see like, okay, I get why it didn't be released crossover.
Doshin. I thought we had Doshin, didn't we?
They had the PAL box, yeah.
Wow,
so that was like the weirdest thing, and there's no.
Oh hey, was there a copy of Square's Tom Sawyer in there?
I don't know. There was a lot of weird specific games. There was like
it's like one of the most racist games. I don't think it got released in America. I don't think. It's not good.
Yikes.
You said it had the most complete collection, so I want to.
No collection is complete
without Tom Sawyer.
You're the one guy who goes to the Nintendo Museum and you're like, yeah, I'm looking for something particular. They're like, oh yeah, no, we have it all here.
He's got the special cupboard in his house. You know what I mean? With Square's Tom Sawyer and Beat It and Eat It, or
I bet they don't just call him Jim in that one, eh?
The room of shame.
Yeah.
On Wikipedia, it's like Reception and Legacy. In 2010, UGO ranked it as the number 4 most racist game in history.
Wow, number 4.
What's number 3? Hold on, we gotta run this back.
I don't know if we need to do this.
We do.
We don't.
Just
all right.
quick. Okay,
Is
wait.
Resident
Happy
Evil
St.
5
Patty's
one
Day.
of them?
Let's see.
Irish racism is the. Did you see Conor O'Malley has a new video up about called Irish Zionism? It's
Whoa, all right.
That's
What?
awesome. I haven't watched it yet.
It's worth a watch. It is. It is.
God.
It also makes me feel very uncomfortable about the use of generative AI because there's a lot of it in there, but it's clearly a pastiche of generative AI as well. It's like, it's so funny. Yeah, I love that, man.
The site crashed when I tried to open the top 11 most racist games.
Does Yu-Gi-Oh even exist anymore? I feel like
page 4 of the list works and page 1 of the list does not.
Yeah, the Internet Archive doesn't host anymore. Well, yeah,
it's too racist.
Comments in the chat.
Whitewashing Yu-Gi-Oh's history, you know.
I'll burn through the rest of Nintendo stuff quickly, but it was cool to like just see everything laid out completely. My favorite thing was seeing all the controller prototypes, seeing all the different fucked up designs of the N64 controllers. Originally, like there was a where it just had the dongle in the middle and no side dongles or whatever the hell. But like you would see the prototypes and they were literally made with like clay and like so it was like I was just trying to imagine what job someone made to make it looked like Star Wars props. So there was like console prototypes. They had a wall of Virtual Boys where you could just put your eyes up to the thing and have your retinas burned out. I don't know. It was. I really recommend it. It was really cool. My favorite thing was the art gallery. So they had like Miyamoto concept art from like the 80s and like design. Oh, Jeremy, they had Legend of Zelda like design documents where like the map is like sketched out and the entire map is on graph paper. There's like sheet music from Koji Kondo and it's like this is and there's security everywhere. I get it, but
that's like seeing the Bible for me. That's like when religious people if they they saw like the first Bible.
I got emotional seeing like the Yoshi's Island like watercolor concept art. Like you could see the watercolor paint like on the it was like mind blowing. Seeing for my favorite like Nintendo game is Super Mario World. So seeing like the original concept and key art of Super Mario World, it was the same effect when I went to the Capcom Museum. It was like I got emotional of like. For me, like, I'm always dismissive of Nintendo, but it's because I exhausted. That was my formative stuff as a kid. Like, my first console was Super Nintendo, N64. GameCube was awesome, but by GameCube, I was moved on to, like, Xbox, PS2. You know, I had kind of, like, grown out of it. And, like, I haven't had kids. Like, I want to experience that, like, oh, show the next generation. I get that Nintendo value. Like, that's cool. But, like, I just don't have that reverence for it. But being in the museum, it was like, oh my God, how many memories of like in elementary school having sleepovers playing Smash Brothers, all this stuff. It was like they had a wall where it would be like 8 TVs and they would have like the evolution. So they have like Zelda. Here's like original Zelda, Link to the Past, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild, like every iteration at once. And you could see them side by side. And then like it would shift like a clock. It would shift. All right, Mario Kart. Here's all 8 Mario Karts side by side.
Oh,
Super
cool.
Mario. Like it was just like, it was so inventive and such a fun way of demoing stuff. I was also shocked they had like Donkey Kong Country stuff, which I don't know if it was like a co-development stuff because I know that was by Rare, but there was like Japanese text and design documents. It was like
right.
I didn't know the development of it, but that was cool to see.
How long were you there?
Because that was my only day in Kyoto, so I was there maybe 2 hours and then out. Like
cool.
The second floor, it like I didn't engage with at all because it's like stuff to do with like partners or friends. It was like they had the giant N64 controller. We need 2 people to press the buttons. I'm like, oh, that would have been cool, but I'm like, whatever. I'll just come back. So a lot of stuff like that. So they had like demo stations, which I could like in my head. It's like I'm just gonna go home and emulate this stuff. I'm good. But you could like literally play. Here's any N64 game on our computer. Play. And I'm like whatever. Also, Nintendo would jail you if you say you're going to pirate a game when you're
censor what you just said, Jesse. Cut it out.
Yeah, that's the part of this episode we should censor. So
yeah, I got you.
I feel like it sounds like a lot of the stuff in Japan is very like sort of like over the top and colorful and loud, and it sounds like this is a more sort of austere, like sort of serious might not be the word, but like sincere, sort of quiet museum, right? It's that type of thing.
Yeah, and Zelda music, like Nintendo music's playing over the speakers and stuff the entire time, and just seeing all the physical box art controllers, everything. And there's a plaque that said like, are not going to like explain much to you. We want you to bring your own connections to these games. Like it's not like Donkey Kong 1991 Rare. It's just here's the box art. Like you're just looking at the objects. And then on the TVs above would be all the different games cycling. But it was just cool walking around, seeing stuff. And like there was in the Game Boy Advance section, it was every version of Hamtaro. So it was just like you would see like Kobe Bryant 2002 NBA. Like so just seeing the complete variety of video
was there
games.
a Kobe Bryant Hamtaro game?
No,
I thought
on
that's
Game Boy
what
Advance,
you were saying. Yeah.
In the Game Boy Advance, there's Hamtaro, and then above that was like a Kobe Bryant game. So it's like
phrasing.
In
Frank.
2002, they made him a Hamtaro. That's the wrong time to do that.
So it was also funny to see the Game Boy Advance section. Just think of like, oh, I played all these shitty games, like all these horrible ports of like, but I don't know. It was cool seeing all the N64 games side by side. Like I'd never played Blast Core before, but I saw that on the TV and I was like,
love that game.
This game looks. It's called something different in Japan. Hold on, but like there was just a TV playing it. And I was like, I want to go home and pirate this. It's what's it called in Japan? I'll pull it up for a second.
It's like Blast something. Blast. Is it Blast Dozer?
Blast Dozer, like
Blast
a bulldozer.
Dozer.
Wow,
Yeah.
like a
Blast
bulldozer.
Dozer.
Yeah,
it looked awesome.
Blast Core. I swear to God, I still say it as Blast Corpse because I had this game as when I was like 6 years old. And I didn't know better.
I used to call it that too. Yeah.
I was
Dude,
like,
the Blast. Oh my God, the Blastozer cover is so much cooler. I know that's always the case, but oh my God.
I was like, can that be my blind spot game? If Danny's coaching Jesse through Metal Gear, can Jeremy coach me through Blast Core?
Yes.
I played the shit out of that game. I would love that so much.
Hell yeah! Now try for platinum.
Let's do that. It's. I'm gonna tell you right now, though. You're gonna have to bring all your gamer sense and all your gamer skill.
Cool.
It's a hard game. It gets hard.
Wants to play Square's Tom Sawyer with me?
I ironically do.
I think I'm all right.
Let's leave that one in the history.
It's just out of we can
you
like
can do it on your own.
I'm just a fan of history.
No, the whole time we're playing it, we're going like this to show people that we don't agree.
I disagree with this.
Of German, 1940s clothing.
Yeah, I'm really interested in Germany from 1932 to 1939, and that's a really fun period.
Both sides of the war.
I'm just a big Hugo Boss guy, you know.
Oh man, hell yeah! That sounds like a A great trip, Frank. Was there any other bits and bobs we could also leave some of this for next week if you feel tapped out on
No, I mean, I can
Japan.
talk infinitely, but it's also like everyone here has stuff to bring into. I will say like the thing so every time I discover something new, and this time the thing I finally got into was like the idol culture, which like is like so extreme and ridiculous. And like a lot of wrestling is like half idol culture. Like people idolize the girls, buy the merch, meet and greets, but seeing the raw, this is every night in Japan is there's like these idol festivals where it's like Warped Tour where 20 bands are playing. I'm not kidding. You go into a dingy underground nightclub and it's going to be 20 bands doing 30-minute sets. It's like there's idol festivals that start from 10 a.m. till like the last train. And it is just group of girls come out, do their song and dance for 30 minutes. Then they go into the waiting room. Guys follow them, meet them, get Polaroids, pictures. As soon as the band ends, another band comes on and it's just for like $20, you can see 20 bands in a row.
But are they all like girl bands or girl groups or whatever?
All girl groups. There's like some that are like goth, some different like varieties, but it's just they come out insane hyper dance routines. It was incredible. But the crazier thing is I gotta make sure I get it right. Is the Watage, WOTAGEI. It is the Oji-san in the crowds. I didn't know about this, and I saw it in real life. I had to like look this up. When an idol starts her song, as the instrumental is blowing, the otaku in the crowd with their like light sticks start going like Taiga, Fire, Diva, Triva, Ja, Ya. Like they do it's like their equivalent of like doing like a wall of death or a Slipknot mosh pit. The guys in the crowd are like firing everybody up to show their enthusiasm. They're like summoning energy and then shooting it to the girls.
Are they part of the are they just like punters?
They're just fans. Yeah, they're they're idol hooligans. Like literally it's that. So
of a specific act.
Yeah, so
they're not like hype people for the whole event.
Is this like a fan thing? These are fans in the audience for this band going and doing that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so like, and the like etiquette is you go into this underground idol thing, you put your backpacks on the wall, you can leave your shit anywhere, no one's gonna steal stuff in Japan. And then if you're a fan of the band, you just kind of like step to the front. And then when your band is over, so people are like cycling. I'm going to stand this close to this girl, how much I like that. Sometimes I would see shy otaku in the crowd and friends would drag them because they know they like this girl. They would like drag their friend, push him to the front row and like hold the guy's hand up for a high five. And the girl would attach the hand and they would run back like I saw.
This is painted in enamel, so it's never
have to go to these shows.
This makes me feel uncomfortable in so many ways, but also I feel like I'm missing cultural context here that I also don't feel like I'm in a position to like critique any of this.
There's a documentary called Tokyo Idol. Tokyo Idol is one of the best films I've ever seen. It's very sad. It's very like, I don't know. It's that fucking juice that like, it's like John Wilson, where it's like human, it's melancholy, it's funny, it's incredible. Tokyo, I think it's on Netflix. It's fucked up. There's some fucked up stuff in it too, but it is.
Is it an honest portrayal sort of this type of stuff?
It's very like, there's no Louis Theroux host, but it's like a Louis Theroux type, where it's like, this guy's like, I follow this idol on my bicycle. I go to all her shows and I'm just there, and it's like,
oh boy. Yeah.
It sounds like Louis Theroux in the way that it like just lets people talk until you're like,
let
bro,
them hang themselves.
Fucking,
yeah.
You don't need to indict yourself like this.
Yeah.
And then like just closing the loop on it, so it's like in Yakuza 5, one of the main stories is Haruka becomes an idol and she goes to the handshake events and there's like security that's like, all right, your minute's up, time to go.
Oh boy.
So again, you see the bands, and if you like the bands, you follow them to their merch table and you can pay for a Polaroid, like a checky.
Right.
And they talk to you while you're autographed, but once the signing starts, every girl literally has a timer in their hand. It's like, all right, 1 minute start, boop. So hi, what's your name? What's your from? Where are you from? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, you're so awesome. Oh, you like? I see your pin. Beep, 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 beep. All right, next. It is so like that is in Yakuza 5 as a mini game. I saw that in real life, and it was like, I'm like this. I want to make a video about this. It's so fucking incredible. And then, so I went to like 2 of these shows. And one of the girls, Rinka Akanaga, I told her I would tell everyone in America about her. Rinka Akanaga. I followed her on Twitter.
Several million to go.
Yeah.
People listen to this. I guess, a few thousand.
Yeah, Rinka Akanaga of the band Splash Ace. So I followed her on Twitter, and then the next day she's like, "Oh, I'm working at a Made Cat Cafe. If anyone's free, you should come to my thing tonight."
Wild.
And then I was hanging out at a game center with a friend. It was around 10 o'clock, and I was like, "Wait a minute, I think that's near here. And I learned from the previous night at the meet and greet, she spoke English. She studied at university. She was at a maid it's called like Medo Neko. So a maid cat cafe. There's no cats. It's all the girls pretending to be maid cat girls.
it's a
Oh my
cat
God,
maid
Jesus
cafe.
Christ. That was the last thing I thought it was.
Yeah. So it's girls pretending to be cat maids. But this is the thing. There was no gaijin there. A lot of the maid cafes on the streets of Akihabara is the girls, the touts being like, oh, Oni-chan, come to our bar, there's no one touting for this place because there's a line of people trying to get in. Every table is full. There's only Japanese inside. But I felt like confident being like, wait, I know the girl inside. I met her. So I'm friends with her. Not really. But B, she speaks English. And I was also buzzed earlier. My friends and I, we got like infinite lemon sours and we're playing all the racing games in the arcades. And that'll be footage and stuff in the video. But like,
I love how your version of buzzed is lemon sours. That's amazing.
I love it. Yeah. Well, in Japan, you can't bring your vape pen or anything. So I just always drink whatever. So I went to the maid cat cafe, and this old man is like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "This Nihongo Sakoshi Daijoubu." So he was like, "Yeah, come in. Your money's good here." And so I show the guy my phone, like, "Wait, Rinka," and he's like, "Oh, okay, Rinka." He calls Rinka over. She sees me. He's like, "What the hell?" Like, she couldn't believe. I mean, it's all fake enthusiasm.
And she pressed the button, and the timer started.
Yeah. So
She looked down into her hand for 1 second. Went, boop, 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 boop.
So I hung out with this idol for like an hour, and I talked to her about the idol culture, and they were like, yeah, I was like talking about the Wotege, and she had talked about like, yeah, when she started idol stuff that scared her. She was like, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And so it was so incredible to like all of a sudden be thrust in this world of the underground idol stuff, going to these shows, enjoying it, but then also meeting an idol who spoke English and could pick her brain a bit about it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I just want to go back. Like, I love the wrestling, but I've seen, and I will keep doing all the wrestling stuff. But it's like, the idol is like a new world for me to explore. And it's so fascinating. And it's like, God, and it's weird. And my friend and I, at both these shows, were the only gaijin. Like, it's not a thing that's advertised. Influencers aren't talking about it. It's underground. But it was so fun and insane. And like, I want to go back.
It's tickling your Louis Theroux brain, I can see.
Yes.
Yeah. Man,
and then,
there are many fronts on the war against male loneliness, it turns out.
Yeah.
That's wild. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then,
well, I don't know if Noclip 2 is going to have that documentary, but hey.
No, I can make it for myself. I'm getting all the footage. The last thing I'll say, in the summer, they do an outdoor event at Ueno Park where everyone's in bikinis and they're splashing the audience members with hoses, and the men bring squirt guns to the event, and the squirt guns look like guns because there's no threat of like shootings in Japan.
Well,
so
say that to the
Shinzo
minister.
Shinzo Abe, yeah, about that. Yeah.
That didn't happen at one of these events, did it?
No. Was he in a bikini? That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But like, so it's everyone's just squirting each other with water, and I'm like, I got to be there. So August 20th, August 24th, I might go out for the Ueno Park Idol Festival. But yeah, it's a fascinating world. Although it's in Yakuza 5, there's Idol Master, there's Tokyo Mirage Sessions, idol cultures in mini video games. So I could make the argument, but I'm gonna collect that footage either way. But I'm very excited.
I got a nerd ass question. Did you pick up any new Japanese like phrases or colloquialisms or slang or any?
So I talked to my friend from Osaka. So Kansai dialect. Aho is like idiot in Osaka.
Yes.
She was saying like baka is like very strong in Osaka. People are offended if you call someone a baka in Osaka. So aho is a little bit more like, oh, you idiot. You
I've heard that aho is like self-deprecating. Like if you fuck up speaking Japanese, you can be like aho desu ne, and people will be like, oh, that's funny. He just like called himself a dummy.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was like the new one I learned, but like it was good to practice Sakoshi Hongo. Like, I only know a little bit of Japanese, and then just push forward. So
Have any good food? Any new food this time around?
yeah. So there was one of the coolest things. My friend Max took me to a place in Yokohama. Yokohama's still a big, awesome city, but it's more. It's like the suburb of Tokyo. We went to some random Yokohama-style ramen place, and we were the first people there in line. We go in, we get our food. He told me there's a thing called like morning pork or whatever. I don't know what the actual term is. So all the leftover
Sounds like a euphemism.
all the leftover like food they had to prepare their ramen. It's like family style. They from left to right in the ramen bar. They hand the first person a giant. It's like Thanksgiving like leftovers. They hand someone a giant bowl of pork, and the idea is take as much meat as you want, put it in your ramen, pass it over to the next person.
Wow.
And it was free. It was like included with the meal. So it was like this giant bowl of meat. It's like, okay, I put some pieces, pass to the next guy. They put it in, and it's like, yeah, you're not gonna get that in Tokyo. That's just in Yokohama. I'm like, That was like, it was, and like, I don't know, it was very cute and wholesome. And then, yeah, I went to Sushiro's, the conveyor place, a bunch of times, but like discovering like Yokohama style ramen and seeing like the morning pork ritual was like, God damn, this is so like wholesome and sweet. I don't know, it just made me feel happy and it was nice.
Is that your favorite ramen? Is the tonkotsu, like the pork one?
That was pretty good. I went to a place called like Irichan Ramen, which is like a chain where you just like punch your ticket, you go and you make it. I like stuff that's spicy too, but that was really, really good.
Nice.
But I'm not an expert on it.
Morning Pork Ritual is my new band name.
That's unironically a good band name.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm so happy I found a good sushi place in Petaluma. There's me and my daughter were just like out for a walk, and it's in like a strip mall, and it doesn't look that nice, and it's like not expensive, because most sushi stuff up here is like super expensive, and it's like very reasonable and fantastic. Chefs are awesome. It's got a great little bar you can sit up and watch them and stuff. It's terrific. That's my Japan, Frank. That's all I have. Your magical mystery tour heading out there. Thank you for reporting back on all things Japanese. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about it over the next few weeks. And delighted to have you back on the pod, dude. It's been we missed you. Although we did have No Cap's incredible presence last week, and looking forward to getting her back on as well. Both of y'all in the next couple of weeks. Let's dive into some video games, shall we?
Hey, before we dive into video games, can we thank our Patreon supporters?
It's been 46 minutes, so yeah, maybe we should.
It's about time.
Yeah. Shout out to our incredible Battle Pass holders. I just got so excited about Japan and Frank coming back. Patreon.com/Noclip and Patreon.com/Noclip2, especially if you like all of our crazy underground video games coverage. And a massive thanks to all of our Battle Pass holders. Brian Baru, great day for him. Little Toast, Yosh, Dwayne the Rock Lobster, Anthony Thomas, Nico Passateri, It's a me, Ferrario. See him at the Nintendo Museum. Senator Armstrong, Redredge, Harry Flanagan, Juice, Arno, Matt Pearson, Mark Rojas, Quote, Tucker Morgan, David McGarry, Goddison, Sven Huster, Pez, Bone Malt, John Akers, Ewan Nate, Tim Robinson, Forrest Pruitt, Dark Insanities, Jonathan Kremen, Eric Hamilton Schneider, Christoph Fatui, Grizzly Mug, Cameron Laird, Zachary Snader, Alex Goucher, George Sakotis, Jacob Godserve, Anthea Jen, we love you, James Med, and Ryson. Thank you all so much for your incredible ongoing support for us to play video games like Funi Raccoon Game. Who wants to take the lead on this? Jeremy, I'm going to go to you first. This game looks like some Y2K fever dream. It is an Irish game, so thank you. It's part of Games from Ireland 2026. What is this thing? It's hard to tell from the trailer. It looks like a platformer, but also looks like it's doing a lot of narrative stuff.
Yeah, it plays like a 3D platformer, but after having played a bit of it, I would say it kind of feels more like a exploration collectathon more than like it presents as a platformer and plays as one, but it's not like you're doing, Banjo-Kazooie, like get the egg cannon and shoot the egg cannon in the tube to open the door thing. It's more like the things you do that are interactive like that are stranger and more interesting. It's kind of like if Katamari Damacy was a 3D platformer a little bit.
Okay.
I do have to say that putting the word funny in your game title, it's a huge like Babe Ruth pointing the baseball bat at the outfield and then hitting a grand slam, because this game is fucking hilarious.
Is it really?
It's really funny.
F-U-N-I, we should, I'm not sure how good Steam's search is, but just so you know, F-U-N-I, Funi Raccoon Game.
Good call. I'm hesitant to talk about any specific jokes because I want to preserve them, but I will say that the water zone will change your fucking life.
Oh, really?
The water zone will change your life. It is. It might be the funniest thing.
Music alone is
audio in the water zone is maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen in a video game.
I saw Jesse post a screenshot of a game. I didn't know what it was, and then later I think I realized it was Funi Raccoon Game, where a sort of massive like like a sort of pagan sun god or something called Lou came down and said, I need you to steal an officer's firearm, which was officer's firearm was written in like rainbow text.
Like bouncing rainbow text.
Yeah.
And that you do have to do that, and that is a way you advance the game. In fact, I think that's part of
how
what
you get
makes,
to the water zone.
Yes, that's how you get to. Can you believe that's how you get to the water zone? Is you steal a cop's gun and give it to a sun crest that comes down to you? That's what I love about this game. Is like it's funny. The writing is good. All of the items you pick up are like there's little sight gags, but there's also like weird things that you pick up and you deliver to a dumpster, which brings it back to a computer. And once you've got enough items, it unlocks more of the game. But like all of the things that you're doing are ridiculous in a way that like sometimes is fourth wall breaking, but sometimes whenever I'm playing a game and it tries to do like fourth wall breaking humor, I either end up loving it or it just gets really annoying really quickly. And Funi Raccoon Game, I have not seen repeat a joke in a way that wasn't funny yet. Like the water zone does, or at least if you do a harder challenge in it, it does like a second version of a joke they had done earlier, and it's 10 times funnier because they're like, oh my god, stop doing this thing that you did earlier. But you have no control over it as the player. Like it's really poking and laughing at you in a very funny FUNI style way. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jeremy, because I'm always like, I'm hesitant to recommend things that I think are funny because I feel like my sense of humor is like broken. Like I don't know what I think is funny anymore.
It's so subjective as well. It's really difficult.
Yeah, more than music.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, I played, for instance, you had a game in one of your Next Fest game.
The Dungeon Experience.
And I played it, and it didn't, like,
it didn't work for you.
It didn't work for me on the same level, but
Did you like the nipples, though? Was that funny?
The nipples were very
The nipples was funny, right?
Yeah. But you even said in that video, like, look, hands up. I don't know if you're going to find this as funny as I did.
Yeah.
It's so tricky, that stuff. Yeah, it's very hard to recommend it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool looking game though. I want to say, sorry, the Dungeon Experience, I enjoyed it regardless, but it didn't hit home as much. Sorry, Jeremy.
No, comedy is like the most subjective thing ever, and I feel like I feel like I'm very picky about comedy, like not in like a conscious way. It's a lot of people will be like, oh, this movie's so funny, you gotta watch it, and then I'm watching it and I'm in pain because it's like when comedy doesn't hit for you, it's like the most painful thing.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
It's like if It's like cilantro. I use that fucking metaphor so much,
You
but it's
love
so useful.
bringing up cilantro.
Dude, it's so fucking useful.
It really
as a video
is.
game.
It's very soapy.
Simile. It just like if comedy doesn't taste good to you, it tastes bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Jesse sort of mentioned the core loop of this game is going into these worlds and collecting trash to bring to your dumpster house. And the way in which you do that are just like silly little emergent things happen. So like the stealing a cop's gun, you not only have to give it to Lu, the sun god, to access the water zone. The water zone. But you
it's
also
got an Irish accent.
oh my god, just fucking you have to play this game.
I gotta play this game. Okay.
Even if you just play like the first 60 minutes to get to the water zone, you're gonna love it. But when you steal a cop's gun, you also have to bring it back to the dumpster at some point to collect it as one of the collectible items. You have like you can bring up a scorecard, which puts the game into first person, which you can move around in first person, which is very strange. But it has sort of like silhouettes of all the different items you need to collect. So there's one is very obviously like a black outline of a gun. When you steal the cop's gun, a bunch of cop cars spawn out of nowhere and just start like colliding on you from all directions.
They stole the gun. Get they them ass.
It says get they them ass.
It does say get they them ass.
So yeah, it just does like weird little shit like that all the time. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like it's like the most high effort shit post ever sometimes.
yeah.
Is like that, but like in a way that's so full of like creativity and heart, and I don't know, it's just fucking, when I started playing it I was like I don't know, like a collectathon 3D platformer, like I've played a lot of these and they, I have nostalgia for them, but they usually don't hit for me. But this one is just like an endless stream of inventive jokes and environments and characters and weird shit, and it's constantly like it does this thing where when you have a group of friends and someone makes a joke and you're like, oh, that was funny, but then you guys sort of like continue to reference the initial joke and it gets funnier and funnier. I like the Lu the sun god thing. Then later I talked to someone who was like, oh, have you met like Lu the sun god? That guy's a fucking weirdo, don't do anything he says. It's like the game is very aware of its own sense of humor in a way that makes it feel like it's not just someone sitting there writing jokes. It's like it's someone making themselves laugh, I feel like, when it makes me laugh.
Yeah, you know what, Danny made a really good point, or well, at least like refer to it as a Y2K adventure game of like running around. It feels like running around in like a GeoCities website, a thing that I didn't really get to do. But I did get to enjoy Tumblr to a certain extent of like people curating their own sense of humor and their own sort of content and what they wanted to show people. And I think this game and what you're getting to is sort of what I like about it is the sense of humor and the style and the gameplay mechanics that they sort of stack on top of each other. It feels like when you're scrolling through somebody's feed and you're seeing like all of the things that they keep changing over time. Like you can see, you can see the period where they were really into Supernatural, or the period where they were really into pink gradients and like cool pictures. And it just sort of builds on that, and then it stops, and you never see that again. And it just moves. It's like new thing, time for the new joke that we're doing. Crackhead has gone in the game. There's a character named Crackhead. Crackhead is gone. You're not gonna see him again. Like stuff like that. It's very funny. And also gameplay, it's funny as well. It's not just the writing that's funny. There have been so many moments in Funi Raccoon Game where you'll get a new item or mechanic or like thing that happens, and they're telling jokes with the mechanics. Yes. There's a thing you get, it's like a bouncy jello thing that you go inside of, like this goo, and it makes you bounce when you hit platforms. Your character's stuck inside of it until you take damage or drop it. And there's a point where to advance, you have to go into a tunnel that clearly the bounce will just keep bouncing up and down and it'll fuck with the camera. It made me laugh my ass off. It was like 20 seconds of nothing, but it was this weird little, the only way to advance was to do that stupid broken thing. And it didn't feel like, they didn't design this properly. It felt like, okay, perfect. Like that's the joke they're telling is, isn't it funny how we made this mechanic that breaks your camera? Move on. Next thing.
Yeah, I had a similar moment with there's I won't spoil anything that's like directly necessary for the game, but just like this is a funny little emergent moment that you might easily miss. I had a fan, like an oscillating ground fan that you just have in your room. And I had to bring it back to the dumpster, but to get there, I had to take the train, like the subway car. So I got on the subway car, and then when it cuts to like a Spirited Away subway car in a void kind of sequence, I had the fan still, but the fan blows objects, and when objects are blown into a wall, they explode. And there was like a Moai statue that was one of the passengers, and I just was like blowing him up against the back of the train and exploding him while I was just trying to get back. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah, comedy in the form of game mechanics, I think, is kind of a rare thing. I find often when games are funny that they're sort of like more normal games with joke writing on top of them. It's rarer that you see game mechanics actually expressing the comedy, and this game does it very well.
Hell yeah. Funi Raccoon Game available now on Steam for the price of, drumroll please, it's $12, 10% off at the moment. Offer running until another week or so. So enjoy that. There's also a demo available on Steam, which you can check out. So congrats to the developers Crayon and Kit for putting together Funi Raccoon Game. I have it in my library, and I bought it a few days ago after you recommended it. I haven't had a chance to jump in yet, but yeah, I'm gonna enjoy some of that this week. I want to talk about Mama's Sleeping Angels. Have you guys touched this?
Not yet, no.
No, I've been following development for a while, but I haven't played it yet.
Dear God. Okay, so this is a game as part of Computer Worlds. It is certainly a computer world, let me tell you that. It's essentially a 1 to 4 player, you've these social co-op games we've talked about, like name some for me, like
Lethal Company.
Thank you.
Peak,
like
sure,
yes, exactly. Lethal Company, Peak, ones like this. It is a take on that genre, which is just about the most unique thing I've ever played. Like it is almost a shame to mention it in the company of those games because it is such a intentional disruption of what those are, I think, in many ways. I only played it solo, so I haven't had a chance to play with anyone. I would love to jump in a game which you folks later this week. No Cap said she was down as well to give it a go. It is
the Slop Squad. Sorry, I don't like using that phrase, but I like that name.
I like it, yeah. Sloppy jalopies. God damn it, this game. So this game is a game where you are entering dreams. I would call them nightmares, but you're entering nightmares, let's say, with a group of 1 to 4 people, and you are basically equipped with entering these worlds and finding essentially sort of totems that you bring back to a like weighing scales, and when you have enough of them, Mama, who is this sort of this goddess demon who is bringing you into these dreams. You then can feed her, and I mean literally. She is a big head in the level that you throw the items into its mouth at the end. You start the dreams by like plunging a sword into a coffin, like a marble coffin. You pull it out at certain points. If you get killed in the game, you become a disembodied head, and you have 3 attempts to jump your head, like, you know, Katamari style, into this shredder machine. You're walking around. You have a flip phone which you use to analyze the like disturbing totems you find. Like, I picked up one and it just started like it's in a nightmare. So it's like this thing. They're not called totems. They're called something else. Is about like you scan it and it's like, oh, this is like a fear of crowds, and then like people start spawning everywhere around you. It is, the aesthetic is so aggressively, again, it's that, I mean, they refer to it as a Y2K dream exploration game. It is bamboozling. What it felt like to me was like, this is what happens when people who don't play games like sit down to play like Death Stranding or something, you know what I mean? Who have no context for any. I felt like I didn't, and this, like, we're going to have this exact same conversation when we talk about Lucid Blocks in a few minutes as well. But it is so fascinating. It has guns in it as well. Like you can get access to weaponry and stuff. The enemies are really disturbing. I'd say it's more disturbing than scary, just in terms of its, you know, presentation. I wouldn't call it a horror game, but it's definitely incredibly unnerving. And I just want to play it with other people to see them react to how fucking bananas this thing is. It is the UI, the way they like describe stuff, the way they show text is very like default text, you know, like weird color combinations. You're even analyzing stuff. You have this like pager at the bottom of the screen that's like, sort of, you walk up to things like, you know, and you get like people put messages in Dark Souls, and you know, you go and you press a button, like that's how like tips are given, but also like other information just comes up on your weird little pager at the bottom. It's fucking weird. It's like deeply weird, and I love it. It's just so strange, and I definitely want to play with other people. I feel like playing it solo is missing out on half the fun, mostly because you just don't get to see other people freak out at the same pace that you're freaking out at.
Yeah, this looks fantastic, man. I'm just watching the trailer right now. I already saw it in the showcase, but I can't remember specific things. Not that watching this is helping. It's like, it is a nonsense stream of the weirdest visuals I've seen in a well, I guess I just played Lucid Blocks, so not that recently, but yeah, even the character creator is like this cool, weird, like graffiti bathroom, like you're in the back of the worst dive bar you've ever been at, and just switching into these amazing outfits. I love the style of the characters too.
Well, the characters almost look like sort of sex dolls, like in terms of, not in terms of the sexuality of them or anything, but in terms of the sort of like, it's like a face printed on like a 3D model, you know what I mean? Like it kind of has that look to it, and each dream has its own look to it. And like these areas are like, they're not non-Euclidean, but they're not like they're weird. Like they're not like places, like buildings that look like they look like dreams or nightmares with like just like geometry coming out of nowhere, and you know, buildings with like, you know, all the furniture's on the roof, like just bizarre color combinations. Like it really, you know, that feeling when you're in a dream of like, it doesn't feel real once you wake up. You're like, why didn't I notice how ridiculous everything was? Like, that's the feeling of being in this game, is that it does feel like you've stepped into this like this hostile, bizarre world where you're not quite sure what's around the next corner, and the enemies are certainly part of that, and the mechanics. Like when you do the tutorial, you know, most games don't need tutorials. This game might be the most needed tutorial I have, because they're like, okay, now chop your head off. Like, okay, like, what?
Of course, as one does.
Exactly. Yeah. Once the sword plunges down, then you have enough to feed mama or whatever. Like, I think there's another statue that gets its head chopped off when you put enough things in the totems in the weighing scales, and then you have to pick those back up again, and you can use those, and then you have like an inventory which like tells you which ones you found and what they mean and stuff. Like you have a house, there's like a hub zone you unlock that has like weird mini games in it and this like sort of shooting gallery area, which itself looks like a nightmare world. It's just insane. We need to play this. You
know what's funny about dreams in media are kind of like it's like when psychedelic drugs are in media, there's like shorthand that are typically used that don't actually resemble either of those experiences. When it's like drugs, it's like just everything is like colors or like fractals and that's it, like a layer of fractals. And when it's dreams, it's like there's like floating platforms in like a void of clouds or something.
Yeah, hazy.
But they're very rarely dreamlike. They're more like imitations of other media's portrayal of dreamlike things. This actually looks more like a real nightmare, which is fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's something special. It's absolutely bananas. You can get it right now on Steam for $7.99. It costs $10 usually. There's 20% off at the moment through March 25th. They had a couple of bundles too, because I went to buy it and it said that I already had the other game, which is Buckshot Roulette. There's a bundle with.
Yeah, the bundle Shoot Your Friends and Kiss Your Friends.
I saw that. It's very cute.
There's also one Mama's Eggs, which is Arctic eggs on this game. So yeah, there's a bunch of them there. Yeah, Shoot Your Friends, Kiss Your Friends. Yeah, absolutely insane. Yeah, I never played anything like it. Absolutely nuts. Jesse, do you want to start tackling Lucid Blocks? Because as much as I had a hard time explaining Mama Sleeping Angels, Lucid Blocks has really stumped me. What?
Lucid Blocks is probably the perfect next thing to go into, just because it's like you've been talking about dreams and the sort of incongruous ways we play video games and what's going on. Yeah, Lucid Blocks is, I mean, the easiest way to describe it is to just say it's like Minecraft. It's a first-person exploration crafting game where you spawn in a weird world generated, I think, procedurally, where there's a ton of different environments you can go to. You punch blocks, you can punch grass and dirt and pick it up and it goes in your inventory.
And when you say it's basically so I knew nothing about this game going into it, and then it loaded and I was like, oh, am I playing a Minecraft mod? Because like it's literally like it's like a nightmare Minecraft. Like you are literally hitting blocks to pick them up. The blocks look like the biomes from Minecraft, but then increasingly more fucked up and weird. Sorry, go on. Yeah.
No, that's basically what they were going for. Actually, I think the confusion of it feeling so much like Minecraft, the developer sort of made on their website. They have a point in the description or like in the FAQ where they're like, we did not use any code from anywhere. All right, this is our game. We made a whole new thing. This is not a Minecraft mod. You do not need to own Minecraft to play this, which I think is a funny and fair argument. But no, it's like Minecraft in that way. And then it just completely gives up on being like Minecraft. It opens when you make your first world, or sorry, when you instance your first qualia.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get the nomenclature correct. When you do that, there's a cutscene that plays where, I don't know, some scary doll monster is
skinless
skinless, bloody thing is like explaining to you the struggles of becoming human and what it means to have consciousness. And then they like rip a rosary out of their stomach and then you're playing the game. And okay, like there's great text on the screen. It feels amazing in the moment. It's like it sets the tone perfectly. And then you are in Minecraft, but it's dithered. You cannot see very far. The draw distance is destroyed. It's like everything's crunchy. And it's scary basically from that point on until like the 3 or 4 hour mark. And then you sort of get into your groove and you're playing Minecraft again. But as soon as you open up the menu,
oh my God,
it stops. You lose all sense of direction. Instead of having a crafting menu where like there's a distinct 9-segment box that you could put items into, you have something called the apotheosis menu where you could place items into, I don't know, a 6 item link connecting on like a triangle. I'm sure there's something they're pulling from in particular. I wasn't able to find out what it was. But you put them in there and then randomly you will get items from that. Not randomly, like there is a structure to it, there's a logic to it.
Yeah, there are recipes, but when you're putting stuff in there, you don't know what they are. When they come out, they have, they have names that are zero help in trying to determine what this thing does. And you just have to kind of use them to see what happens. And let me tell you, the first time I used one I made, the most fucked up thing happened and scared the shit out of me.
And the things you're making are not like, or the things that you're combining aren't even normal. Like it'll be grass block or wood block, but eventually you're going to have like tungsten. You're going to have like Oromos or something. Eyeball. Cyst. Put the cyst in the crafting menu and see what happens when you connect it with stick. Like it has those just enough familiarity from Minecraft in its items for you to sort of understand what's going on. And like structurally you would play it like Minecraft if you want, like make your base, hide from stuff, and then eventually go back out during the day and collect resources and mine underground. And, eventually you'll see stuff. But where this game cuts out that part of it is like, it's not just like you're hiding from enemies. The enemies you're hiding from are legitimately scary. There are some gigantic creatures that will scare the fuck out of you in the early chunks of the game, depending on where you spawn. Actually, I think everywhere has a pretty big, I think they're called abnormalities. But there's also like a Herobrine style thing sort of just around. Sometimes you'll just see a character that disappears when you look at it. As soon as I spawned in, I noticed there were a bunch of these Minecraft multiplayer character models, not literally, but like they look like them from a distance, jumping up and down and building stone pillars to climb up higher and higher.
My God.
I was horrified. I thought I was accidentally playing multiplayer. I didn't mean to do that. And it was great. Yeah. I was thinking about why I like Lucid Blocks, because I really do like it. It's creepy and scary, and like it takes what made Minecraft feel interesting to me when I was like 12 or 13, whenever it launched. I would have been early high school. It's probably 13, 14. And it finds a new way to deliver that to the player. Like everything feels so alien. Everything feels like when Minecraft launched, nobody really knew what the recipes were. Like there was a wiki and there was people interacting, but like when I started playing it, I didn't know about the wikis. This was the first time I was playing a game where having a wiki would have been helpful. So my friend and I remember we were playing and I sort of guessed how to make glass in Minecraft because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's hot sand. So I put it in the oven and we were like, holy shit, you made glass. This game is doing a similar thing of like not knowing how to craft items, you sort of coming to terms with that, but the things you're crafting also don't make any sense.
You know what it reminds me of is like Minecraft was like very, most of its recipes were like pretty
obvious. They were in line with humanity.
Yeah, traditional, let's say. But then there were some stuff like the Nether and like making portals that felt darker and weirder. And that stuff was interesting. And that's where a lot of like the Herobrine stuff and all that. This game is what this feels like is somebody who was a kid when those games came out and went, that's the weird shit that I want to make. That's the version of Minecraft I want to make. Because like it is so esoteric and like, it's like you said, it's really refreshing. Again, as someone who's like, I was a bit older when Minecraft came out, but, I'm 40 now. And a lot of these games, it's why, Mama Sleeping Angels is so exciting to me because it's so novel and interesting and weird. And it makes me feel like I don't know shit about how games are designed again. Right. And I think a lot of these games people don't like them because that makes them feel that way. They want to feel empowered by the knowledge and be the hero and all that sort of stuff. And this game especially just makes me feel like I do not understand the vocabulary of what's happening here at all. And it's exciting and it feels infinite because like, there's like so many different blocks and you can combine loads of them and shit keeps coming out. And I'm like, I don't know. And you're not told to do anything. Like when you load into your first, what's it called again?
Qualia.
Thank you. And you load into your first Qualia, which the default name for it was also 9, which did you have that?
Mine was Embrace.
Oh, so they just... That's
it's just random words. Yeah.
This game is mad. But when you load into it the first time, it's not like, in Minecraft, there's like an obvious-ish thing of like, oh, I can build a house or I can it is also directionless. I guess probably now if you play it, Microsoft have put a bunch of...
there's like tutorials.
Build a house.
There's achievements and like quests, things to do. Yeah.
Right. So like now it's not that, right? That moment is lost. But yeah, this game is that, but also... everything is terrifying. And
I think your point actually about early Minecraft and the Nether was pretty, not like late, but it was a pretty good time after the original Minecraft launch, in like 2007, something like that.
I don't know exactly when, but there was a Java version before it got launched as well. Or there was the other version.
Yeah, the original Java version, that one was just, there wasn't really anything to it. It was foggy. It was scary. It would look creepy. Like if you go back and watch footage of the very original Minecraft launch, it looks scary because the draw distance is really short.
Well. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. And even subsequent ones. Yeah. Until they really, really increased the draw distance because of just, they actually like coded it properly and optimized it. but like you go back and look at that time and there was like, it had those schoolhouse or the schoolyard rumors of, could you break the obsidian layer at the bottom of the map? What's under that? Herobrine, I think, spawned from like rumors about there being another character in the world that was following you around. So even from very early Minecraft, there was that sort of creepy Sonic.exe stuff going on. Yeah, and they've definitely they've pulled on all those strings. As you dig down in Lucid Blocks, you're not looking for caves. Like, that's all I'll say is you're not looking for caves. There are no like big cave systems you're hunting for. You're looking for something else. Yeah, same thing with going up. You are not looking for the cloud world or whatever is in the new Minecraft. I haven't played it. You're looking for something different. This game gets visually very strange very quickly. And it's exhausting. You do kind of have to play it like Minecraft, where sometimes you're digging for a while and you aren't going to find anything. But then sometimes you'll turn the right corner, or you'll approach something and notice it. You'll see bouncy balls in the distance and be like, what is that? Kill them, combine it with the right thing, and then the next hour is cool.
That was the area I spawned into first, was Bouncy Ball Land.
See, it took me hours to see that. I spawned in a place at one point that had a bunch of crosses on a checkerboard world, and there was a huge colorful building in the middle of it made out of plastic blocks. This game is so weird, man, and like it feels like you're playing somebody's modded save of Minecraft where they just tried a million different mods and like never uninstalled them. It's a very cool, strange experience that I don't think is going to work for a lot of people, but the people who it works for, they're going to be in love with it. It's so strange and so, I can't get over it. I want to keep playing because I want to see how much weirder it got.
So that's Lucid Blocks, available for $9.99 on Steam at the moment. You can pick it up. It just came out March 12th, and overwhelmingly positive currently. 1,600 reviews.
I will say about Lucid Blocks that I have played probably 2 to 3 minutes of Minecraft in my life, and it was literally it was to capture Minecraft for a video I was editing for Noclip. That's the only reason I've ever played Minecraft in my life.
Counter-Strike one maybe or something? I forget.
I don't even remember what it was now. It might have been, I don't know. I actually have no fucking idea when we talked about Minecraft, but I needed literally like 30 seconds of me hitting a tree. So I am obviously, like, through cultural osmosis familiar with Minecraft enough. But playing Lucid Blocks, it was interesting to me, and I definitely want to play more. But it was kind of like, I felt like I was missing a foundational layer to which this was referential. Where I feel like it's like you're saying, it's like if someone made a game about MMORPGs that was like or like No Players Online. Like that game is about like empty FPS worlds. If you'd never played an online FPS in your life, I feel like it would feel, you'd be like, well, I don't know what's going on here. Or like if you saw like any sort of parody of a genre parody and you had never seen like a Western and was watching Blazing Saddles, I feel like it would feel a little different. So it was interesting. I'm interested to see how much it will hit for me sort of on its own merits, not as a spinning of those experiences of like online worlds and like the sort of like liminal spaces we imagine and stuff like that, but just as a standalone thing. But
can't believe we went this whole way also without mentioning the fact that it has an FMV hand that is your character's cursor / whatever. Yeah,
there's been I feel like a few people have been doing that lately.
Someone made a video about games with hands in them.
Oh, really?
No caps.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, on our channel. Just came out today. The hand is really funny too, because they like represent a bunch of the items that you get in ways that aren't literal, which is great. Like the cubes all look different and you see the hand holding it, but there's lots of different items that are shown in funny different ways. It's really cool.
It's awesome stuff. That's Lucid Blocks. And I guess this is a really strange episode because the next game I want to talk about, I don't want to talk about it too much because I think, again, it's one of these games that you should really sort of explore yourself. Ultimate Drummer. The demo for this came out. I actually didn't realize the demo come out. I've had access to this for a few months. The developers gave me access to an alpha build a while ago. And of course, for Computer Worlds, I have interviewed the two of the creators behind this, the two folks who also run Cool 3D World, which is one of my favorite YouTube follows / Instagram, whatever follows. It's basically like sort of, oh God, how do I explain Cool 3D World? It's like, have you guys do you know Cool 3D World? Is this something, I can never tell if this is stuff that people are accessing or if it's just in my weird feed or whatever.
Looking it up now.
I only know it because you mentioned it and I looked it up.
Okay. It's basically like sort of intentionally bad 3D graph animations that are actually like secretly really good. they've been a YouTube channel for like about a decade maybe, and posted stuff on Tumblr. It was a Tumblr thing for a long time before that. Just super esoteric, creepy, weird, kind of uncomfortable, disturbing animations. You can go check them out on YouTube. 100% down my lane. And yeah, this game is basically a game made by two visual artists, psychopaths, who, as it turns out, and this answered a lot of questions for me, are both like talented musical composers. So they also produced all the music for the Cool 3D World videos, which I was not aware of. And this game, Ultimate Drummer, is a game where you play as a drummer. The drummer has like a full sequencer in it where you can like tell it which like hi-hat and cymbals to hit in what order. It's a 3D platformer that is very like From Software inspired, both in how it tells its story and also its aesthetics. But within this world, you are like collecting sheet music and all of this other stuff. The music interacts with the world in interesting ways. The bosses are completely insane. The game is like changing itself every 2 minutes. Like, I feel like this is a game made for like the ADHD generation. It is absolutely bananas. Like, it's like, watch one of their videos and then imagine if these psychopaths made a game, and that's what Ultimate Drummer is. It is. And one of the things I talked to them about was like how difficult it is for them to market a game that intentionally looks this like shitty, like this bizarre and weird, and has this like very aggressive lighting and character modeling. So yeah, that video will be up on Noclip too, if it's not already, in the next day or two. And you can explore those conversations with us. But yeah, it's completely bananas.
This is insane. For some reason, Ultimate Drummer makes me think of Brutal Legend in a weird way.
Nice.
It feels like spiritually connected to Brutal Legend.
Do you guys have any questions about Ultimate Drummer?
I mean, I don't know. I just watched Fridge on their YouTube channel. I'm still processing that. They just put it up a month ago. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, it's really out there stuff. Yeah, and I've really enjoyed playing the game. So I guess I'll leave it at there. You can download the demo right now as part of Computer Worlds. It is definitely a computer world. People on our Discord have started referring to games as computer worlds. I think it's like become the genre, you know?
I love that.
Lucid Blocks is a computer world, man.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. All right, that's all the games we had to talk about this week, unless I've missed something. I don't think it's so. Frank, we've got some emails here.
Yeah, if people want to send us emails, please write to us, podcast@noclip.video, or in the podcast chat channel on Discord. Let me take a sip of water. I apologize.
No worries. He's
thirsty.
He's been drinking on, he's had too
got
many
that
lemon
Picari
sours.
sweat.
I finally grew to the taste of Picari sweat and all that stuff.
It's so
Beautiful.
good.
Yeah, the first time I had it, I didn't know what it was. I was like, "Oh, what the hell is this salt water?" And now I'm like, "Oh," because I drink the whatever, all the hydration stuff. Okay,
It's got sweat in the name as well, so that's fair.
You Carrie Oates wrote in a question: are there any games you've played that you would make a new version of by injecting your personal expertise? For example, I've been a geneticist for 15 years, and if indie funding for no-name studios was a thing, I would absolutely make a Monster Rancher 2 style game with a breeding system that uses real population genetic simulations under the hood. What would inspire your love letter game, and what would you add to it that uniquely leverages your expertise?
Well, I know a lot about video games. So what if I made Legend of Zelda, but it's inspired by Mario?
What do you think? Yeah, what is your expertise? Jeremy's obviously got he's got religion, mycology, sort of.
Yeah, I was really into computer science growing up. Electrical engineering was something I was really into as well. I think when I was playing Minecraft, one of the mods that I got was like an electrical engineering Minecraft thing that had like more, like it was the redstone stuff was great when they included that. I like making logic gates with all that. But I really wanted a version of Minecraft that was like closer to a Zachtronics game. Like I played a lot of stuff like, I haven't played Factorio. I don't want to fall down that rabbit hole, but stuff like Zachtronics I'm sure it's great. I'll find out one day. Maybe when I'm on my deathbed, I'll play it. Satisfactory was the only one that I really got into like that, or like Shapes 2 just dropped a little while ago. That's been pretty cool. But those automation games, I was always like, man, I wish there was like, I want to install the right size resistor to make sure that I'm cutting down the, the wattage and the voltage. I want to make sure it's all timed properly. I think that would be really fun, but I'm also a huge nerd. But I've been getting into cartography lately and like GIS systems. I'd really like to play like an Assassin's Creed style game or like a big open world. This is sort of what I was hoping for from The Legend of Kimori. It's like a big open world game, but the thing you're doing is actually making a map, like tracking it, creating landmarks, putting them in the map, whether that's drawing them or like maybe you get like stickers or something in the game. Ooh. Anything like that where you are forced to examine a big detailed place in a way that makes that detail mean something as opposed to it just being noise that sort of sets the tone. I love that sort of stuff, both in the real world and also I wish I could do more of that in video games.
Ordnance Survey Simulator.
Yes. I care so much about ley lines and I want to do it all properly. Yeah, get out the compass and string.
Like land, you could be like land dispute simulator. You have to put all those like little stakes in the ground.
Yeah. A game where you go to people's houses and you're like, you're going over the blueprint, like making sure they have the right, your fence is 2 inches over. You need to, yeah.
Two old guys arguing over like a tree branch and who it belongs to.
Yes.
And you're the guy who settles it.
See, now you're making my video game.
Oh my God. Yeah,
that's a good answer. I actually think that's a great idea. The GIS thing is really interesting. I feel like mapping is underdone. What was the game you were talking about earlier this year that you played a demo for?
Map.
Yeah. I should have remembered that fucking name.
It's in the name twice, man.
It was too obvious.
What's the pizza place where the guy says pizza?
What's that pizza place with the pizza? Yeah, Danny touched on a few of my interests. I feel like I wish there were more games about like I feel like every game about cults is about like sort of like cartoon like Lovecrafty cults or the cult stuff is sort of window dressing. I wish there was a game about like starting a cult, but more in like a sandboxy kind of like Kenshi way. Like nice. I think it would be cool to be like a real piece of shit in a Kenshi way and be like trying to build a following, but it's like imagine the way that sort of like the Roman Empire persecuted sort of like underground religious cults.
Yes. Like what was the name of that? There's one of them. Well, I don't want to spoil a game that we did a documentary on, I think. But what was that pre-Christ or alternative Christian sect? Do you remember they used to do they used to have these like underground crypts where they I don't want to spoil this game, so I can't say it.
You're talking about Mithraeums and stuff.
Yes,
you're talking about like the
exactly.
Yeah, what the fuck are they called? The like the bull cults, the Mithraic cults, and like the ancient mystery rites. If you want to look this up without spoiling a video game, just look up like ancient Greek and Roman mystery rites and the Mithras cults and stuff.
Like that sort of stuff. That'd be neat.
Yeah, that'd be a tough thing to gamify. I mean, that is like the tricky thing is eventually with any of these ideas, the hard part is game designing a fun, intuitive, and like not overly complicated way to interface with these complex ideas. So it's like, you're like, oh, that'd be cool to start make a game where you start a cult, but then it's like, you have to design a system where it's like, do you design the ideology of the cults? How do you do you just walk around talking to NPCs like The Sims and interacting with them until they're a follower? These are the more complex and sort of abstract and socially driven the idea is, the more difficult it is to game design.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
I was like, you could just become a guild leader in World of Warcraft and control people's work schedules and make them, there is a layer there.
That is true.
Yeah, it's funny how much like Cult of the Lamb has like nothing to do with
That's why I was a little disappointed by it, even though I think it's a great game.
It's a great game. I love it, but it's I mean it does, but on a sort of a superficial kind of level. You know what game kind of reminds me of the sort of breaking the chain of a cult a little bit is The Forgotten City. That's kind of kind of a game about like tapping into people's like doubts. You know what I mean? But like their doubts within a social structure that needs them to adhere to a very specific set of rules. Like, how do I get them to break their allegiance? It's like a cult freeing game almost in a way, even though it has nothing to do with cults. I think the game that I would have said would have been what ended up coming out was it 2 years ago was Expeditions, a Mudrunner game. Like that's a game about overlanding essentially, which is like a hobby of mine, you know, going off in my Jeep into, you know, off-roading for a few days around, you know, forests or deserts or whatever and stuff like that, and having to, you know, be able to, you know, cross terrain and have a certain amount of equipment on you and things like that. And the game does a good job of, it's less about going on sort of big day-long, you know, weeks-long adventures and more the mechanics of it a little bit, which is sort of in style with Mud Runner, but the biome it's in and the type of stuff you're doing, and like, you know, fording rivers and doing rock crawling and stuff like that, which in real life is like super exciting and kind of scary too, because you can fuck your car up real bad, and then that obviously, or you could roll a car if you're in a Wrangler. But yeah, that's probably what mine would have been, but it's already been made. It's a pretty good version of it. Frank, you got one?
Yeah, mine is like, my dream game would be like a Japanese PS2 like Stardom game. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, so I just got WWE 2K26. I'm excited to like search for all the Stardom stuff and do the career mode. I had a friend already make like my character model. Like, so I'll see if it's uploaded, but I'm excited to dive into 2K26. But like, something I'd never seen done before in a game until I just discovered a week ago is I had never seen. So at all the Joshi wrestling shows, when they're, again, same as Idol Culture, when they come out, fans will throw Joshi, they call it Joshi tape. We'll throw like the ribbons and tape matching their colors.
I've seen that, yeah.
I had never seen that done in a video game, but there was a Sega game made in 2000 called like Giant Graham 2000. And I'll cover it in like this wrestling
drug dealing game.
Yeah, Giant Graham. Yeah, it's called Giant Graham 2000 All Japan Pro Wrestling 3. First time I've ever seen it done accurately in a video game, where the wrestlers will come out. It's all like male wrestlers, but the wrestlers will come out and they'll throw the wrestling tape, and it's like 3D graphics with like physics, and it's like, it's the only time I've ever seen that done. I'm shocked that's not like, because they don't do that in American wrestling, but I want to see a Japanese wrestling game have the Joshi tapes. I want to have them do the Idol stuff that is a Yakuza 5 mini game. I feel like you could do like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain's like story campaign mode is like small and janky enough. And I know there's like Mick Dickey's done like this crazy PC wrestling game, but it's like, yeah, I would love like a Japanese developed like Joshi wrestling game. A Japanese team made the AEW game, and that was kind of janky and charming. I want one for Joshi wrestling, but like that's like my dream game. WWE lets you customize a lot of stuff, but I want like an earnest, like, no, someone actually made all these characters, like licensing and everything.
Right.
I don't think that'll ever exist, but that's like my dream thing. So that's why WWE's close enough where you can mod it kind of. But
yeah, man, it's a good answer.
That'd be awesome.
Good answer. Thanks for the email, you carry oats. We got another one here, Frank.
yeah, and then Max wrote in about Steam Deck for PC Curious. They said, hey, Noclip, I've basically always been a console gamer, but for a while now, I've wanted to dabble in PC gaming. Recently on the pod, you've talked about Esoteric Ebon Banquet for Fools, games that I'd love to play but are only available on PC. There are many other examples of non-AAA PC-only games I'd like to play. I'm interested in getting a Steam Deck so I can play such games. I like the idea of portability and also being able to connect it to my TV and play with a controller. I'm wondering how you guys are getting on with your Steam Decks and if you'd recommend it for the PC curious like myself.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's the greatest gaming device that I own. Basically, no question. You can play anything on it. If you want to be a huge nerd, you can install emulators on it. And like, huge nerd is maybe a stretch. It's not even that hard to do that. Yeah, it's going to open up your whole mind. Like, you know, you hear us talking about games all the time. It's stuff that I'm realizing you can't play unless you have a PC. And there's a whole world of video games you're missing out on. Basically, everything in computer worlds, you have to have a computer to play. And the Steam Deck is the closest thing you got.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go on, Jeremy.
Can you? I use my Steam Deck exclusively like as a travel device, basically, or like in bed sometimes. Can you, if it was your only gaming PC, could you get like a mouse and keyboard and use it with it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I
You
figured
can put it on your TV if you want. There's they sell an official deck, but any USB-C to HDMI device will allow it to play on the TV.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the deck is like 80.
Essential.
I think it's like 80 quid or something, but it
For
basically the dock, yeah.
Jesus.
Isn't it?
All right.
Yeah, I think it is. It has like I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it has multiple USB ports, an HDMI out, and also an Ethernet port. I'm pretty sure it has an Ethernet port on it.
I have a third-party one that my buddy got me. It also has an M.2 slot. So if you want to put its own dedicated, if you want to put your own dedicated SSD in there, like just for games to keep on the dock version, that's an option as well.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so does the M.2 go into the dock? Like, do you open it up and then you put it in? Okay. Yep. Wow. Well, I mean, that probably costs like God knows how much now.
No,
at this
I think
stage.
it was cheaper than the official dock.
No, the M.2 drive.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Now that's like $800. You might as well just buy another Steam Deck.
So that's the other problem with the Steam Decks is I think they're all out of stock at the moment because the costs of all this hard drive shit
really?
has made them.
Wow.
I think there's a price issue now. They might be selling them at a loss or something. So I think there are a decent amount of secondhand Steam Decks out there that you can get because obviously the OLED version came out, so some people upgraded. I'm sure people have, are selling ones they've had before, so that's an option. But yeah, the biggest problem you're going to have with buying any PC right now, like if handheld is a big issue for you, then Steam Deck is fantastic. I would have said for the 650 quid or 550 quid you pay for an OLED Steam Deck now, you can get yourself you'd have to buy a monitor, but you could get yourself a all right PC, but probably not,
No, yeah.
not as
good as the Steam Deck even, really.
No.
Yeah.
And now with the hard drive stuff, like I was looking at PCs last week just to keep my eye on it and hard drives and everything, and it is insane. Like,
dude,
I
needed to upgrade years ago and I didn't, like a moron. I still have a 3070 Ti, which is not a bad card. It works fine, but man, I wish I bought a 4000 series. Now forget about it. They're like, I have a kid coming. I can't be buying a graphics
One of our
card.
NASAs is almost 10 years old and it started to slow down. And I was looking at pricing out, 4 more enterprise drives, and you're talking like $3,000 or $4,000 or something. Like it's completely bananas. Yeah.
I don't understand how Apple, of all companies, has a new computer coming out, the new laptop, the Apple Mac Neo.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, that's like $800. It's keyboard mount. It's like a Mac. It's running just a mobile chip set in it, but like that's a real Mac computer that will do everything you want a computer to do at a reasonable price.
The biggest problem with Macs has always been the fact that they have been insanely skimpy on hard drive space. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I run my editing off a Mac Studio, which I think has 2 terabytes. I think maybe 1. I don't know. That's not. Yeah, but like
it's not great for work, but it's decent.
My MacBook is. I don't know what my MacBook is. No, is it terabytes? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
For the Mac Studio, you have the Mac Studio, right? Not the Mac Mini. It's probably terabytes then. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe it is. Yeah. It's but my MacBook Pro is it's not a new one.
Oh yeah, Cassie had a MacBook Pro. It's like 128 gigs. I think that was like $3,000.
That's exactly it. No, I have 2 terabytes on this Mac Studio, so I guess I can't complain too much. But every one of our projects now is 5 terabytes. So
right,
it kind of doesn't help that much. But we got 4 thumbs up for Steam Deck.
Probably shame about the Steam machine. Sucks you'll never be able to buy one, or they'll be $2,000.
Yeah, they're probably not going to come out now. With everything that's happened, at least this year, they won't.
I mean, they've said they're pretty confident it'll come out by the end of the year. There was that whole thing, I think around GDC or just before, where they made a post where they were like, or they were joking at GDC. They're like, if anyone has RAM, please, we want RAM, which is funny. But I think they made a post and they were like, yeah, maybe this year. And then they were like, no, definitely this year. Don't worry about it. But probably really, really late. Yeah, I mean, I need to wait to play Grand Theft Auto 6. I've been waiting forever for the Steam machine.
Why don't we just gotta figure out, I'm just gonna go to YouTube and see if there's any tutorials on how to make RAM at my house.
Dude, you can download it. What are they so stressed about?
Yeah.
Farm to table RAM.
Yeah, artisanal local RAM.
Sourdough RAM. When are they doing that?
I'm picturing like a guy at the farmer's market selling RAM out of a wicker basket.
He's got his suspenders on. He's like, well, me and my family have been making RAM for the last 300 years.
It ain't fancy work, but it's honest RAM.
My memory ain't what it used to be. Like you say around these parts.
Well done.
See, that would be if the guy made that joke, he'd be like, I don't even need RAM, but I love this guy.
Cash only.
Podcast and noclip.video. Thank you for sending in your emails, folks. Bunches of stuff hitting the channel if you haven't seen it already. Obviously, Disco Elysium episode 5 is up. Episode 6 certainly early access. Episode 6 will be live next week. We will be done with our Disco Elysium series. Thank you so much for your patience in getting that out. Thank you to the whole crew, Jeremy, Frank, especially for their work on production on that one as well. Real team effort. So it's great to finally have it out there. We have loads of stuff on Noclip 2 as well, of course. If you missed our Steam Next Fest video, make sure you go back and check that out. Computer Worlds is available to watch. 24-minute showcase of incredibly cool, strange, and distinctive games, many of whom we have talked about today on the show. We also did a playthrough of Big Walk. We actually have the exclusive first gameplay demo recorded from 4 of our perspectives of Big Walk, with the latest game from House. We talked about it last week on the podcast. Loads of thumbs up from all of us here. Really cool, and that video was a lot of fun to put together. Jeremy, as part of Computer Worlds, uploaded a wonderful video about the alchemical power of video games, focusing on all living things, one of the games from the showcase itself. Myself and Jeremy also jumped in and played Queen's Domain as part of our Computer Worlds coverage. You can go check out that sort of indie recommendation / quick look thing over on the channel. Jesse and No Caps are working on videos that are going to go up, perhaps 1 or 2 of them before this podcast goes up. We'll see. And I'm working on an interview with the Ultimate Drummer folks as well. Jesse, yours is about loading.
Yes.
And No Caps' video is about, it's Hyperbeat, isn't it? I believe.
Yes, Hyperbeat.
Yes. Yeah. So great coverage from us all over the place. There's also that video about the Irish game development scene and sort of my thoughts on how I think increased funding will make a big difference in what I learned when I was in Australia at the end of last year and traveled around talking to people about the state of funding on that island. And we also have a recommendation video from a bunch of games that came out a few weeks before all these festivals that will be out probably by the time this podcast goes up. I think it's going to go up tomorrow. Shed loads on the channel at the moment. And of course, if you haven't watched Frank's DDR documentary as well, go check that out. People have been loving that. So we're in a good spot. We got a bunch of new patrons. We're almost up to, not patrons, a bunch of new subscribers. We're almost up to about 80,000 over there.
Wow, really? Holy.
And I think people are starting to buy into the sort of mission that we have on Noclip 2, and I think people have a better idea of why it's so different from Noclip. You know what I mean? It is different. Actually, by the time the podcast comes out, I will have a pretty big preview of an upcoming game, which if I check my email real quick, I still don't think I can announce. I don't think so, but it's a recently released game, recently announced game, let's say, from a beloved developer that has I was interested to dive into the history and development of it.
Is it close to home?
Who knows? Who knows, Jesse?
Who could
I was
say?
trying to think of the closest
Perhaps.
bit I could do that wouldn't be spoiling anything.
That's good. That's good enough.
That's as far as we're going.
I like that one. That was good because that one's open to interpretation.
Yeah,
as
what
well,
do I mean by that? Yeah.
Exactly. Who knows? Loads of other stuff. Melgarasha episode 2 up on Noclip 2 Patreon. Of course, do not forget our Advent Children podcast on the Patreon feed as well, and loads of other great stuff. So it's never been a better time to be a Noclip and Noclip 2 patron. So thank you all so much for your support. We really, really appreciate it. All right, I think that's it, gentlemen. I have to pee so bad. Do you have to pee? Who has to pee? Who else has to pee?
I do.
You got pee? Frank Hayfield, you got that Picari sweat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh yeah, are you totally? Are we?
I'm never not on Japan time. So I landed in Japan. I was getting up at it was perfect. California time, I'll never be on again. But no, I'm so genuinely happy, and I'm still have to process stuff, but I feel euphoric and happy, and so I'm just very happy. So I'm good.
That's what we like to see, Frank. We love you no matter what your mood is in, but it's I think I speak for us all when it brings us great joy to see you living your best life. Especially over there. So great to have you back, buddy. We've bunches of cool stuff coming out in the next month or so as well, so stay tuned, everyone, and we'll see you next time on the Noclip podcast. Bye. How do you say bye in Japanese?
Matane.
Matinee.
Sayonara.
Matinee.